Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be going over the 2020 Cultivate What Matters Power Sheets. I actually recorded this video already, but I lost the beginning footage, so you may see some differences in the angles and the lighting. When we get to a certain part, I do apologize for that, but I wanted to make sure I got this video out soon, and rather than editing the whole video over or recording the whole video over, I decided just to re-record the part that I was missing. Alright, so I am a first-time user. This will be my very first year of the Power Sheets. I actually came across it because I was looking for some type of guided goal system. I knew that my finances would not allow me to hire a coach. So this was the next best thing. Something to help me think through my goal setting, something to help me write it out, and then something to also help me keep track and be accountable for the things that I said I wanted to do in the year. I like Cultivate What Matters because they're a big picture type of goal setting. So we're not thinking small term, we're thinking what's going to matter in the long haul, and that's what really we should all be focusing on. So this was just a cute card that came with it. I'm missing one of the cards that came. It was like red or pink. But this was another card that came with it. I have not written on my word of the year card, but my word of the year is transformation. I haven't written on it because I want it to look really nice. And granted, Laura, the owner of Cultivate What Matters, she says that you know, this isn't about making it look pretty. Nobody needs to see this but you. But this one card in particular, I do want to look nice. So I'll be getting something written on it soon. I also got a bundle that came with these goal cards. And they really are just some pretty blank cards with some gold foil. Gold foil with the word goals on them. And so I think I'm gonna put, I think I get 12, so I'm gonna put like maybe some goals for the month and put them like in a dollar store frame, and then just keep them visible on my desk so I remember. All right, so this is the planner I chose. This is the confetti cover. I think it also came in like a pink, a teal, and I think it was called blooms, which was like flowers. This year, from my understanding, the coils are different. Last year, I think it was like a plastic. This time, they feel like, I guess like a inexpensive metal, maybe. These are just coil bindings. They're okay. They do bend a little bit. I can show you, but you can they're pliable. You can kind of put them back in place. But I did see a lot of people saying they got their stuff bent and things like that. But mine didn't come bent, but I have noticed just from moving them around the house, the ones at the bottom have bent a little, and then I just kind of put it back. So let's get into it. Sorry, you're going to see me slide this around because of the angle of the camera today. I'm still working on angles. I'll do better in the future. And if you hear any noise, I do apologize. All right, so it came with the pocket. Let me see if I can move it just a little. Okay, let's see if it'll stay there. Came with the pocket. The pocket is super tight. The only thing I've been able to store in here is basically the gold cards and the couple of cards that came with my bundle, and I just kind of throw them in there, but it's a tight fit. It's not made to hold a lot of stuff, so don't get your hopes up on that. Next, you have just your first little page, and it just says 2020, clear vision, intentional goals, let's do it, hashtag Power Sheets. Then it has a page that has like their contact information, and then a little bit of information about the sections and the planner. It says that you're going to have 1, the Power Sheets prep, 2, the action plans, and then 3, the monthly tending list. So I kind of broke up me recording the video into those sections. So this recording, like I said, it'll look I can't even talk today. It'll look a little different for the prep work section. And it seems like the prep work section is the part that people most fear. But anyway, over here it has, is this a quote? I don't think it's more like of a saying. I don't see it's written by anybody, but a little bit of inspiration here. I did read through this initially when I did my Power Sheets. And then it has the page where you just put your name, and then I also put the day that I wrote this, the day I started, which was December 14th. And I did all of my prep in a weekend. So it does come with, even if you don't buy anything but the Powersheets, it comes with a sticker sheet with quite a generous amount of stickers. I tried to use a lot of them, but I don't like putting stickers for no reason. And Laura did say, you know, try to use all the stickers. So I'll probably go back and try to sticker a few more things. But I did use quite a bit. As you can see, there's a lot of blanks throughout. So I thought that was nice that it included some stickers. If you got the bundle, I bought the bundle and I got these, and I'll just kind of show you. These are the goal setting stickers book by them. And it has so many cool stickers. I've used quite a few of those as well. All right. So 2020 goal ideas. This is kind of just like a brain dump. I went through here and just threw everything around. Now, prior to starting my Powersheets, the word that I had came up with for the year was restore. So you may see that as I get through until I realize, like, I had an epiphany. Oh, that's not the word I want to use. So I wrote down restore and happiness, and then I just put down everything pertaining to it. You will see some things highlighted, and that is because further in the book, they ask you to highlight things that are reoccurring so that you can use that to set your goals. So that is already done. All right, so then it says comparison isn't just the thief of joy, it's the thief of everything. So I love how the Powersheets gives you a lot of information. It also has a video. You can look at the Cultivate What Matters prep week in the website, and Laura actually walks you through the prep work, which was nice. And so what I would do is I would look at the video, watch what she had to say, then read the pages, and then do the work. And it made it so much easier. It was not so overwhelming or confusing or things like that. All right, so the next page says wonderful you, and I'm sorry if the angle is a little off as far as I can zoom out. All right, you see on the camera doesn't like that. All right, so wonderful you, and then it's talking about basically how you are unique. So you're going through and marking different characteristics. I highlighted, and then they also leave spots for you to add in things. So I added in things that I thought were unique to me. So it says words that describe me, ways I most encourage, I want to be known for, what I value, my best memories, love being around people who I feel motivated when, and then now I feel about goals. And so it just lets you kind of think about yourself and things that matter to you and realize how you currently feel going into the situation. Because some people, even though they have this, are very apprehensive about goal setting, and that's good to just know for yourself. So then the next page says it says, has it been a long time since you felt like you were really living? So again, it talks to you, and Laura explains the pages very well. It is super easy and comprehensive. And then you go to the next page. It says, what fires me up? Now, I will say there are like 20 some pages of prep work. The page that took the most thought for me and that caused me the most stress was this page. And it's kind of depressing because I didn't know what fires me up. It's like I had been saying to like close friends that I had lost my passion. I didn't know what my passion was anymore. And this proved it because I literally just wrote down whatever. I thought for a while and I just couldn't think of much. So I just wrote down some things that came to mind. They probably aren't the deepest things. But that's just kind of what it was. And I realized from this page that I can't stress myself out about it. Let me just get through it. What comes out will come out. So don't stress. If you're doing these pages, do not stress about what comes out. Just let it happen. Okay. And I will say there are personal things on these pages. But, you know, sometimes you just got to be vulnerable. So it is what it is. All right. So the next page says Cultivate life evaluation. Now, because I'm a part of the Powersheets Facebook group, I found that a lot of people had issues with these pages because you're rating yourself in 8 areas of your life, and then also writing some information out about those areas, things that perhaps you may want to change or the state of them as they are now. The categories were health, friends, spouse or significant other, family, finances, spiritual and personal growth, work, and recreation, and then I put /fitness. You go through and rate it, and you just be honest. Like, even if something is rated highly, doesn't mean you don't want to change stuff about it. You could be great with like keeping track of your finances, but you might label it a 5 and say, but I want to accrue more finances. I want to invest. I want to do whatever. So, you know, you can still work on all the areas, but it just kind of gives you a real idea of like what your very low items are that you may definitely want to focus on, because you don't have to have 8 goals in the end, but you do have an option of up to 8. So it just gives you some options to think about. All right, the next page says break your identity box. And I think a lot of us have those boxes, those things that we kind of put ourselves in. And so it says, what have you decided that you cannot do? And this was so significant for me because I have a disability and a vision issue, basically. I'm considered legally blind. And because of that, I have put myself into quite an identity box. And I don't think I've ever done that for myself before now. And it was just good to kind of put it out on paper and saying, okay, this is how I feel. But I don't need to feel that way anymore. And then when you get to the bottom, it says, imagine the possibilities if you were to crush that identity box. And so it really just makes your life, you know, limitless. Like you could do any and all things. So I thought that was just a great exercise, and it was very effective for me to take some looks at myself. All right, so it says who I really am. So this question says, where were you 10 years ago? And I had to laugh because when I did this, I was 30. I just had a birthday, so I'm now 31. Yay. But I was thinking a decade ago, I was 20 years old, and I was like, wow. You know, what was my life like? I had not had a kid yet. I had just left college. I mean, like, wow, a lot happens in a decade. So I wrote that down, and then it says, where are you today? What has changed since then? And wow, has a lot changed. Becoming a mother, becoming married, becoming, you know, like I said, having a disability. I don't like to say I'm disabled, but having a disability, just life, you know, things happen. All right, so they do throughout give you just some inspiration. It says you are strong, brave, capable, creative, and ready. So I thought that was nice. And then here it says, I'm moving past fear. And they ask you to write down the things you fear, and then why. Basically, it says I fear. It gives you blanks, and it says because, and it gives you 3 of those. And then at the bottom it says, if I were to step into these fears and take action, I would feel. And again, it just works you through, because you do have fears. And a lot of, I think, guides or even mentors or coaches, they want you to just move past things, but you have to acknowledge them before you can move past. So acknowledging is the biggest part that I think is important. And then say, okay, now that we know this is the case, what can we do about it? Why can we change it? Why is that not so important? And so Cultivate What Matters does a great job at that. Then here, these are good things. It says, what worked in the last year? So this is pretty much 2019. I just wrote down a whole bunch of stuff. Again, by now, I'm just like, all right, let me just get it out. And I just went down a list and wrote a whole bunch of good things. And it's sometimes hard to remember the good things versus the bad. Then these are the challenges. What didn't work out last year? And I just tried to fill out every single line and be as honest as I could. All right, so we're moving through. Like I said, it was a lot. I did it in 48 hours, but it got done. All right, so lessons learned. So you put those here, and then it says what remains confusing, unanswered, or unresolved in your life. And then it says, despite this, what are you choosing to believe? Again, acknowledgement, and then what? People who you're grateful for. I thought this was really cool. I don't mind seeing these people. They're pretty awesome. But yeah, you write down everybody you're grateful for, and then you let the people know. And I still need to go back and let some of these people know. But shout out to my mom, my grandma, Adrian from Toastmasters, Jackie, who is a freaking awesome friend, Ashley, awesome friend. I always write Blind Advocate. She has a real name. I just cannot remember it ever. But I have an agency that I go to called Insight, and she was the first blind person that I actually, I guess, talked to in my life. She's completely blind. She's an advocate. She works. And it made all the difference when I was going through a time where I didn't think I could relate. People couldn't relate to my struggle and going through the whole process of being considered legally blind and dealing with all the things that came with that. And seeing her work and live in her greatness made all the difference. And sorry if you're hearing tap dancing sounds. That is my dog. His nails need to be, her nails, sorry, needs to be cut. My mentor for Toastmasters, Victoria. My son, Atreyu. My cousin, Dara Reese, who helped me out a lot when I was having some vision issues. My husband, John. Another Toastmaster, JD Harper, just for being really sweet and inspirational. And then another Toastmaster, Charles Gates, who just always is just an inspiration to watch and observe. Sometimes you just gotta watch people's greatness and be inspired. All right, so feels like life is flying by. They're giving you more information. I highlighted the things that applied to me in this category. And then over here, it says the big picture. And again, Cultivate What Matters is not just about setting New Year's resolutions. This is goal settings using the big picture, thinking about what really matters to you. So it says here, what will matter to you? It says basically what will matter to you then. It says when you're 80 or 90 or 100 years old. Because if it isn't going to matter to you in the long run, then why bother, basically? And then what won't matter to you? Because again, it's good to know both sides. So I wrote down both. And this, again, is making you start thinking about the goals that you're about to set. Another cute little saying, it says, dreams become decisions when you cultivate them. All right, so here, my legacy. This is something that really manifested with me. Because yes, I'm not doing all these things just for myself. I'm doing this to leave a legacy. So it was nice, and I kind of wrote it in different colors based on the different things. But it says, who do you want to be? What do you want to be known for? And then at the bottom it says, why I want to make what matters happen in the big picture. Because again, your why is like one of the strongest things you have when it comes to goal setting. Because if it's not a strong why, you won't keep it. Now, I talked to you earlier about the highlights that you saw throughout thus far, and that's because of this page. It says mark your threads. So they basically say that things that you see over and over and over again, repeating, recurring themes, they call threads. And so they tell you to go through and mark your threads, then write them down here, because again, those are the things that matter to you in your big picture, and those are the things you should probably be making your goals on. As we move here, it says, my cultivated year. If you could envision your most purposeful year yet, what would it look like? And then they give you some prompts up here, and I literally just went through and answered all the prompts to the best of my ability. And oh, I'm not reading all this. For one, it'd be a super long video, and for two, I think it would be unfair because Laura's team put a lot of effort into it, and I don't want to give out every little thing. I'm sure somebody could, freeze the camera and do it, but I want to do my part to make sure that if you really are interested in this plan, that you do go ahead and make that investment in yourself. I think it was only about $60. So this page says brainstorming your year ahead, big picture vision. So I put the categories that have been reoccurring. And this is when I kind of started thinking about the goals. And then it says some goal ideas for the areas that, again, kept reoccurring, those threads. So I wrote those down. We move over here. It says, I'm saying no to, oh my goodness. So many times I've tried to accomplish things and then other people's things get in the way. Because I'm a helper. I like to be of service. But wow, does those things take up your time? So saying no to things. Oh, I had fun with that. And then saying yes to things, because there are some things you want to say yes to that maybe you weren't saying yes to before. Like opportunities. Maybe you thought an opportunity was too big for you at the time and you said no to it. You want to say yes to those things. I thought that was freaking awesome. All right, and then here, when you start to think about choosing a word for the year. Now, again, I'm a part of the Facebook group, and some people really were turned off by the word of the year, and some people were super jazzed about it. I thought of the word of the year personally as just something to keep in mind and keep pushing me through, something to reinforce my why, something to keep in my mind as I maneuvered through the different goals I had set. Again, when I started this, before the book even opened, I thought my word of the year was going to be restore, because I knew that was a thing in the planning community for this particular planner. But then after you go through all the things you've written and discovered about yourself, they ask you to put a bunch of words that you're interested in using. So I put words like tenacity, I put restore, believe, resilient, transformational, intentional, thrive, allow, focus, embrace, able, brave, faith, steadfast, mindset. I put all those there. And then I went through and looked up each one. If it has an X, it means nope. Question mark was like maybe. And then I wrote down some of the definitions that I really enjoyed. And then I decided on the word transformation. So in 2020, my word is transformation. And it means a metamorphosis, a thorough or dramatic change in form and appearance. Then I said, I want to become something I have never been, something better, more improved, new. So that is where my word of the year came from. And I'm super duper excited to go through 2020 and be transformed. Yeah, I want to be something so much different than I am now. Something I can't even almost imagine in myself. Like I want to be that ugly caterpillar that comes out this beautiful butterfly. So transformation is what my word for 2020 is, and I'm super excited about that. Now you would think like, why haven't we hit the goals yet? We're getting there. We're getting there. So then they ask you to imagine your best year, and it basically makes you go back and look at some of the previous sheets, and you put together this statement, I'll call it, of saying like who you are, what matters to you, things like that. I'm not going to dive deep into it. If you have your power sheets, it's very self-explanatory. And then we finally get to the goals. Oh, this right here, sorry, I didn't put anything because I've already done it. This is a spot for your vision board. Hopefully that's in focus. It's just a blank sheet, but it tells you to put your vision board here. I did mine digitally. I just need to print it and paste it. All right, so the next part is actual making your goals, but I'm gonna make this part 2 of the video because this video is already long. So stay tuned for part 2 that should be available next. I'm gonna post them at the same time, so you'll be able to watch part 1 and part 2 back to back. But in case you need a break right now, have that break, and we'll be right back.